Reveille, reveille. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, everybody. Gypsy and I, we're just getting our start to the day. I got to sleep in a little bit. First night of good sleep I've had in about a week now, it seems like. Every day I've been waking up at like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and not being able to get back to sleep, and really not having even gone to bed until late, past 11 p.m. or whatever. Sometimes a little bit later than that. Usually I like to go to bed kind of early, 9, 10 o'clock. 9 I usually like to start winding down. 10 I like to be sleeping by. I like to get up nice and early. This morning I got to sleep until about 6:30 or something like that. Felt really good. Except I was having some crazy dreams last night. And I have to tell you guys, it's kind of sad, but that little one right there, she got launched. I don't even know exactly what I did, but I was having this dream, and then I kicked, and it just landed perfectly on her, and she ended up, it wasn't crazy, but I know it freaked her out, freaked me out too. Come on, baby girl. Come on, Gypsy. She's really going through a growth spurt. She's eating a lot, and I don't know about you guys, but with puppies, the way I've always done it is, if they're hungry, I feed them. Boxers typically, they're skin and bones for the first 2-3 years typically. At least my other 2 boxers were. They don't start really gaining that adult weight until after about 3 years old. And she's really high energy. Ain't that right, pretty girl? Gypsy, ain't that right? Yes. Did you have a nice breakfast? So we're just out walking around. Sorry for not getting updating for the last, I think it was 2 days. I've been kind of busy just with personal stuff, getting my taxes and all that stuff squared away, which I did, and I got it done in time, thankfully. I hope you guys did too, or got your extensions filed, or if you didn't, you'll get it squared away. I'm sure you will. Obviously, there's still some standing water. It has been raining for a couple days, or in the evening. It's not been raining a lot. This is Gary's neighbor right here. Gary's land looks pretty dry for the most part. We are going to look at that. I don't know if it's going to be overcast or not. I think it might clear up today. I hope so. We want to get some stuff. I want to feel like I get a little something accomplished every day. There's a couple bills that I got to square away. I have my apps on my phone. You know how that is. You know, you got your bank and all that good stuff. And so when I got my phone, I got my new phone. This phone, it I just have a couple apps that I gotta access, and one of them, I think I have to make a phone call on the bank. Yeah, so that's that. And I wanted to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about data privacy. It's more and more important today than it ever has been. With the election coming up, and you got the Russian and the Chinese factors going on. The political landscape of the country right now is kind of in flux, or very in flux. And you got a lot of, I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I've been working cybersecurity for quite a few years. That's my specialty. Worked for a big certificate authority, it's all security. And I was an information security engineer. I was the guy behind the applications. building the applications, putting in all the parameters, you know, like when you put in your little your you know, your pin codes and all that stuff, and you see that little RFD on there. That's us. That was me, or the company, I should say. God, that is pretty. So anyhow, let's talk a little bit about data privacy. I know this is going to be pretty boring for some of you guys and common sense to some, but I'll tell you this much. Especially if you're into YouTube. Actually, no, scratch that. It's for everybody. First, let's just start off with Google accounts. Everybody's got one. Your Google account is attached to what? Think about everything it's attached to. Your phone specifically. And what happens if just your phone doesn't even need to be stolen anymore, is compromised by an application you put on it. Look at that little turd back there. She's so darn cute. Gypsy! Anyhow, I'm going to tell you guys one thing, number one thing. Strong passwords. Use a passphrase. Let's say your dog's name is Rolo. You could very simply make Rolo was born in 1948. And you change those characters, you add some, you know, Rolo at, you know, whatever. Make it a little bit long. I'd say at least 12 characters long. And and then you can use variations of that as you change it. But if you use something simple, then you should take a look at, you know, like if you don't use a special character or a number or anything like that, people can hack into that in a matter of seconds, especially with all the online shopping. If you're not going to a secured website where you see that HTTPS, the S is critical. If you go to any site that's just HTTP, there are so many scripts out there that I could run right in Google that will list literally every unsecured website. And then all I've got to do is sit there and do some packet captures. And there, now I've got your passwords, whatever that password is that you use there. You talk to people that have lost everything because of a very simple data breach. There's also a website you guys can go to see if you have been breached. And it's very likely that you have. It's called Have I Been Pawned? And that's PWND, Have I Been Pawned. One word, Have I Been Pawned. You put your email addresses in there. It's absolutely free. And all it does is it lists any breach that occurred. Look at that. So it's a nice morning. Those trees make it kind of look ominous though, doesn't it? Kind of spooky, especially as I'm talking about data breaches. They are equally as scary though. All right. I'm going to do a little scanning over here and keep talking because I know Rachel's really curious about this land out here. So let me switch it up. All right. So in this land, what I've been noticing is pencil reeds or reeds. They're going to really be a good indicator of soggy land. Obviously depressions and whatnot too, but I'm not really seeing a whole lot of that up in this corner. I think Rachel's is somewhere here in this corner. They're going to be, Rachel, I don't know if you heard this, but they're going to be coming through. A surveyor's going to come through. They're going to be putting rock down, and they are going to be marking off these grids. Once that grid is in, Rachel, I'll be able to actually get back in there to really walk your land. And I most certainly will do that and happy to do that. But I don't want to be walking around somebody's private property or property that doesn't belong and then upset the neighbors before everybody's even moved in. Oh, she's wild now. Okay, so back to data privacy. Check out that site. It's called Have I Been Pawned? I did create an email account for my YouTube channel, and I don't know if it posted yet, but if anybody's interested, it's very simple. It's gypsy.trails24@gmail.com. So check out that site though, Have I Been Pawned? And then here, this is another big one, is two-factor authentication. When somebody logs in to your YouTube account, makes a change. If anybody logs into your Google account, makes a change. Does anything like that. I would start with Google. Get a text, I like to use text, but two-factor authentication could be anything. It can be a one-time password, which is nice and simple. Google Authenticator is it's free. Also, I like to use a password locker. This way you can use random, very strong passwords, and you can find free ones. I think Google has a free one. Google Authenticator, I think, also does that. You can save your passwords. Now, when it comes to your device, your personal device, whether it be your laptop or your telephone or something like that, and it asks you, hey, do I want to save the password? I'm going to tell you, I wouldn't do that. Because if that phone comes up missing and they somehow can get into it, then you're in a precarious spot, I guess. I don't know, that's a fancy word. I also like to, for my personal devices, I like to use both PIN and biometric. And everything, whether you're talking about Android, whether you're talking about Microsoft, or you're talking about Apple, they all offer really good features. I'll say this, for the longest time people thought Apple was more secure than Microsoft, and for the most part it is. They've got better built-in security, and not to mention a lot of the Android apps, they come from Asia, and they can be your apps can be compromised to begin with, and then you put that stuff on your phone, and a lot of people are thinking that the American government these days are going after TikTok for some frivolous reasons. No, guys, it's not frivolous at all. You can go and do as much research on that as you'd like. But TikTok, that's all China. It's all China, and every single bit of that goes right back into their databases. Now, what data they're collecting, you can use your imagination, but it's not a joke. You got that TikTok and certain other applications on your phone. Your phone's at risk. It's just the way it is. You don't have to like it. It's the way it is. There's a ton of applications that are just bad. So be careful. Be careful. Now, I know a lot of you guys know this, but I'm going to just go over it. So every single data breach that I've seen, and they are major, and I've seen major ones in very major companies. Matter of fact, I was just working with a guy and this was on the side. This was just a personal thing on a Facebook group that I'm in, and it was, I want to say it was like one of the RV groups that I belong to. Guy messaged me And he said, yo, man, he says, take a look at this. He was requesting something of his account from this federal agency. I don't really remember what it was. I think I want to say it had something to do with the national parks, but don't quote me on that. Maybe I shouldn't even say that because I think I'm wrong on that it was national parks. But in any case, what had happened was he requested this information, and he got everybody's information. So yeah, no, it wasn't national park because it wasn't a million pages of people's information, but it had Social Security's displayed on there, credit card information. It had everything. So it filled everything: PCI, DSS, HIPAA, everything. I mean, there were some major violations in there, and that right now that's been set in motion to for the feds to dig into. But that's what happens. That's what happens. It's just always a user error. Just a simple, stupid user error. They're not supposed to have certain information stored in a single database anyhow. Like let's say Jane Smith decided to open up a Target account, right? Well, Jane Smith's name and maybe her address or whatever would get stored and then blocked, you know, where they whatever they so you can't see all the information. And then certain other information such as credit card that would be in a different database on different security protocols, and all those numbers are not supposed to be in plain text. Well, there's a lot of companies that do not follow these rules. They don't pay the money up front because they probably can't afford it. They can't afford the people that is going to do this for them, or they don't know how to do it. They get some hack in there that does it, and everybody's screwed. So two-factor authentication. Don't shop on a HTTP site, because if you do that, if you go onto a website and it's just HTTP, I don't want to wish somebody getting jacked on anybody. But if you're shopping on those HTTP sites, you're asking for it. It's a matter of time. HTTPS, that's what you're looking for. Don't shop on anything, no matter how enticing it is. Also, just your basic other scams. You get this email, especially this time of year, there's going to be a ton of them for taxes. A gazillion of them. Oh, you got to do this. You got to do this. We got your whatever, your W-2 information, your taxes, but you need to sign this. Man, if they're saying it's urgent, it's probably BS. And if there's not a phone number in there to contact, or just, you know, and be careful about that too. The phone number's listed in there. They'll be their own, and they'll portray it. Just do your research. Don't click on those links. Every company in this, well, most companies in the country, they do a lot of training like that. But data privacy, guys, especially right now, you got to be really careful. This is an election year. This is tax time. Be careful. If you guys have any questions, again, it's gypsy.trails24@gmail.com. I'll see if I can't help guide you through some of this stuff. Been doing cybersecurity for a lot of years. Little burnt out on it. Making some changes now, but I still have a passion for it. I'll still help you out if I can. I'm here. With that, I think Gypsy and I, what we plan on doing today is there's some garbage back that was left by the owners of Gary and Mary's property. I'll spin you around so you can kind of see the entry to that. You can see the flag there. So we're going to get back in there, grab some garbage bags, do a little cleanup this morning before that sun starts popping. and I'm gonna be chasing that little one around. Oh, one last thing before I go, guys. This little turd, oh my goodness, she scared the bejesus out of me yesterday. I caught her eating or chewing on, you know, those really cheap, they're like felt covered hangers. I caught her chewing on one of those felt covered hangers, and there was only half the hanger. I was like, oh my God, you better not have eaten that dang thing. But she has not done anything like that. She typically doesn't even really break or destroy things yet. I'm sure she'll figure that out. But yeah, I was really freaked out because I was missing half that hanger, and it was nothing. I found the rest of it. But for about a half hour, I was like, where's that dang hanger? You know, you better not eat it. There she is right now in the mud puddle, going in the mud. Come here, Gypsy. What you doing? I picked her first tick off and my first tick off yesterday. She's got flea and tick on her, so I'm not really. Hers actually just kind of fell right off. It was dead, so I was happy to see that working. There she goes. She loves chewing on those little pine trees. She chopped that one off. And with that, guys, have a fantastic day. We will catch up soon.